AZ Mateo says, hello, please help with any insight. $70,000 owed. In 2019, I started a business that really took off. Unfortunately, I did not do my taxes correctly, and for years 2019 through 21, I was audited. They pulled all my bank records and expenses and said I underreported income and overstated expenses, especially mileage. Initial reports show me owing $70,000 for the 3 years. Has anyone ever worked through this? Will they settle or take a payment plan and then settle? Are the IRS help commercials I see on TV worth anything? So this is what I'm going to say, AZ Mateo. It sounds like you are in the middle of an audit right now because you said that they've sent you some initial reports. And what I imagine you're referring to, a 4549, which is basically an IRS auditor's proposed changes to your tax returns. Maybe I'll do a separate video on this form, but I imagine, Mateo, that when you're referring to the initial report showing me owing $70,000 for the 3 years, you're referring to something like that, right? So it sounds like you're in the middle of an audit. You say, has anyone ever worked through this? Yes, countless taxpayers, as well as obviously tax professionals, have worked through audits with the IRS. Will they settle or take a payment plan and then settle? So, Mateo, with that question, you're going straight to collections, collectability, right? Because every tax problem has two issues. There's the liability, and there's the liability is how much you owe, right? Which is what the audit does. And then there's collectability. How much of what you owe can you pay the IRS, and over what period of time? Okay, so when we're talking about an audit, we're talking about the liability side. Mateo filed a tax return that said he owed $10,000 or something, right, for these 3 years. He filed 3 tax returns. Let's say those tax returns said he owes $10,000. IRS came in and said, hey, we think your tax return is wrong. We think the liability that you calculated on your own on these tax returns is wrong. We're going to audit you. Okay, and it sounds like Mateo's at the step now where the auditor has proposed changes, right, for these tax years as reflected on the 4549, right? They're going to try to get additional tax, as you can see here, right at the bottom. Line 11, total corrected tax liability, in this case of $37,000, right? So, for Mateo, he's got 3 years here, right, instead of just one. And he's looking down here on this line here, total corrected tax liability, and he's adding these numbers up, and it says 70K. Okay. So, Mateo, before we even talk about a settlement or a payment plan with the IRS, what I want you to do is fight this IRS audit with all you got. Okay. It looks like they're saying that you underreported income and overstated expenses. Well, I would say, well, did you, Mateo? I mean, if you did underreport income, then, that's obviously an issue. But I don't know what the IRS is looking at here. Maybe they're just looking at 1099s, and maybe your 1099s are double counting your income, right? And if you can prove that to the examiner, to the auditor, to the revenue agent, with your bank statements, you can show, hey, this income on the 1099s, I got a 1099K for this, but I also got a 1099 NEC or something like that, right? You can prove with the bank statements and with your books and records that you've hopefully prepared for these years. You can fight that, right? That underreported income. And they also saying you overstated expenses, okay, especially mileage. Now, with the mileage thing, the rule is that you need to keep, contemporaneous mileage log, right? To support the mileage that you're claiming. Hopefully you did that, Mateo. In terms of other expenses, I'm hoping that you have bank statements, you have receipts. Basically, get all the documents you can, right? And I would say tick and tie them as best you can. Don't just give a shoebox of stuff to the auditor and trust that they're gonna, look through everything meticulously in a way that's in your best interest. They're not. Okay, it's on you or on your representative to do that and prove to the agent that, hey, look, this matches this, matches this, matches this, which is why I put on the return, right? Look, here's all the the office expense items, right, on my Schedule C. Okay, you can see on my return I put $12,000 for an expense for this year. Look, here they are on the bank statements, and here's receipts that support them all, right? Hopefully you have books too, like a P&L and a balance sheet for each year too that you've put together. I know many business owners don't, just from experience. I know this. Wouldn't hurt for now to be the time to put together a nice, clean set of books based on those bank statements with receipts supporting your expenses. Okay, so that's at a high level how you fight an audit. Okay, how you get that liability as low as possible. The revenue agent might not give you everything, right? But hopefully, if you fight the audit well, you're going to end up owing a lot less than $70,000. Okay, at the end of the day. But whatever you owe at the end of this audit, right? Let's say it's 70,000, maybe get down to 30,000. I don't know. Then whatever that balance is, you can then, after that balance is assessed, try to work a deal with the IRS on the collectability side. Okay, and these are the tax relief options that we talk about, right? Will they settle or take a payment plan and then settle? You're talking about offer and compromise if you're talking about a settlement. If you're talking about a payment plan, you're talking about an installment agreement, either a full payment installment agreement or a partial payment installment agreement. There's also hardship status, currently not collectible status, which is, hey, the tax debt is still there, and it's still going to be there until the IRS's 10-year statute to collect that tax runs out. But at least you don't have to make any payments on it right now because you're in hardship status. Okay, I've covered all of these different tax relief options here on my channel. There's a video here at the top left-hand corner of your screen about those tax relief options. I also have a playlist of all my tax relief videos on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you're facing an IRS audit right now, or you are dealing with back tax debt or unfiled tax returns, reach out to us at Choice Tax Relief, phone number 866-8000-TAX. You can also visit us at choicetaxrelief.com. Fill out the form on the homepage. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.